Hello everyone and welcome to another game review. Now that game review in question, Rollerdrome, I should say. A game that takes the notion of extreme sports and decides to crank them up several notches past 10. So tie up those laces nice and tight and it's going to be one heck of an adrenaline fueled game review ahead. So it's the early 2030s and quite scarily that's not even that far into our future anymore. What's one of the most top billed sports that people have a bloodlust for though? That is right, it is of course one in which contestants strap on a pair of roller skates and equip several weapons before wheeling themselves into an arena full of foes that are ready to cut, shoot, burn and blow you to pieces. So you can call me a monster if you want, but let's be honest, I'd watch it and I've no doubt others would too. Now, if you want to be the very best and earn yourself the top spot, you're going to need to do a lot of utilising of those aforementioned weapons. So you do begin with a pair of humble pistols, but as the game progresses, you'll unlock a further 3 options, that being a shotgun, a grenade launcher, and a sort of beam rifle. Killing enemies, performing tricks is how you restore your health and ammo, but there are a few accessibility options that you can turn on that allow for unlimited health, ammo, and reflex, which is the sort of slow-mo time thing. Play the game how you want, but I'll be completely honest, my thoughts and review is based mostly on the fact that I did actually have these enabled because I thought it made the carnage even more fun and brilliant. But like I say, you play how you want. So, as you would expect, there are differences in how the weapons work. Pistols, of course, your standard all-rounders, decent range and damage. Shotgun packs a bit more of a punch, has a super slug shot, triggered by hitting the trigger, funnily enough, at just the right time. The trade-off is there's a little bit less range, but wasn't that notable to me. Grenade launcher makes things go boom, of course, and the beam rifle weapon is like a sniper that could also ricochet shots off surfaces. So automatic lock-on for weapons also means that, to be honest, you've got no excuse to miss. Now, personally, I favoured the grenade launcher. I couldn't quite get on with the rifle, and the pistol and the shotgun, whilst both fun to use, it was pure carnage caused by the grenade launcher. Some might argue, became a little too easy, but I was having fun. Couple that with the unlimited health, ammo, and the reflex times, I rose to the top. I did so quickly. Now, I think, from what I remember, assists may turn off the leaderboards online, so, these high scores I was getting, I'm exactly going to be able to say I did this with just my own skill, but there you go. Now, it's worth mentioning enemy types too, of course. After all, you've got to dispense of your arsenal on somebody. Heavy hitters, force fields and riot shields. There's long range enemies, acid lobbing fiends, mine dropping foes, fools who try to melee attack you for some stupid reason, and tank enemies. Now, there's also a couple of bosses sprinkled throughout the game. Variation was decent enough though that I didn't get fatigued by fighting the same sorts of enemies over and over. Now, like I say, part of my judgment I realised may be clouded by the assists I had enabled, but I just wanted to have fun with the game. It took me about 2 to 3 hours to get through, and I certainly did. Now, I should mention, of course, the actual roller skating part of Rollerdrome as well. Of course, it's going to be a selling point for some, so each arena is laid out sort of in a way that you can do a multitude of tricks on your skates, and considering the focus is on shooting as well, I was rubbish at pulling off tricks, but the satisfaction of grinding around the area, doing a flip and headshotting 3 enemies was immense, indeed, and both aspects of Rollerdrome work well, in my opinion. So there's a frenzy and pace to the game, and it's a different take on many that have come before. So there are also challenges to complete on each level, and an overall score to add to the leaderboards. As I mentioned, I don't believe this is recorded if assists are on, but for those out there who strive for leaderboard mastery and claiming that they've beat the game to 100% as it were, plenty to sink your teeth into. Purely because my own skill level wasn't that great, I was content to just play through the game without focusing on the challenges. But for those who wish to try, option is there. You can also enable it so that the challenges aren't required to be completed in order to unlock later levels, and I appreciate that. It means I got to experience the whole game despite having a lower skill level personally. Final consensus for Rollerdrome, recommended. So it's a fast-paced slice of action wrapped in a shiny bit of roller skating goodness, mixes 2 genres into a single and very well made package, I thought. Like I say, won't be striding for leaderboard glory, but the few hours I spent with the game were fantastic. As always, thanks for checking this post out. If you're interested in the social media I use, relevant at the time, links will be in the description and bio of the channel. But as always, stay safe, take care, peace and nugs.